how to stop comparing in the world of business. Of course, comparing and being competitive, especially as a child, allowed us to grow, allowed us to thrive, allowed us to consistently improve. But what happens when that pattern becomes overdeveloped and it's become overdeveloped in this world of business? Have you caught yourself when you see someone succeed at the level that you want and they've achieved what you want, and at some level you feel resentment, at some level you feel jealousy, and allows this stress? What does that do? It brings upon the victim mentality. It caps your own resourcefulness. And of course, when you're obsessed with comparing yourself to other people and realizing, why aren't I there yet? You're not serving. You're not serving, you're not growing, you're not developing the way you feel called to do. But what's possible if you're truly able to stay in your zone of genius, and serve and evolve and grow while also looking at other people, but instead of comparing, you're able to gain wisdom. You're able to gain some grace off other people. You're able to brainstorm ideas and use it for your own growth. So that's why in this episode, what you're going to learn is, one, you're going to learn my story about comparison, and I'm going to get a little bit honest and vulnerable in a minute. But two, you're going to realize why this is a trap, why comparison is a trap in the world of business. You're going to learn three, what this means from a spiritual perspective, what's actually going on. And then four, some action steps on what to do next. Let's dive in. Yes, before we get started here, welcome to another episode of the Awaken Your Business podcast. It's here, of course, where you build an aligned business by coupling spirituality and business strategy. So thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. I love discussing these topics, and this is going to offer a lot of insight as well. Because when it comes to vulnerability, when it comes to openness, I'm all about it. And this is what I'd like to share, is that as I started building my community, building the serving circle, a few years ago, I really started comparing myself. As soon as someone would join the group, as soon as someone had another group was doing something similar, my ego mind went straight to what numbers are they doing and what am I doing? And then comparing the two and saying, why aren't I doing that? Why aren't I achieving at the level that they are? Or if they are thriving in a particular group, it's like, how do I outdo them? Now, this was not coming from a place of healthy competition. This is coming from a place of insecurity. This really was me feeling like I'm not enough. And for me to be portrayed as someone who's successful, I need to be around people that I'm doing better than. And what I found was not only a diminished level of resourcefulness, but I felt it in my energy, in my marketing, in how I'm serving, in the podcast, everything like that. I just consistently was able to, my mind was consistently going to, okay, how well are they doing? How well am I doing? And what does that mean about me? What does it mean about me and my worthiness, in my ability to help people? And so I caught myself, if I'm honest, I was going through other people's Facebook groups and not wanting them to do well from my own insecurity. And I was like, man, this is not who and what I am. This needs to shift. And so I'll go through a bit here in terms of what I did to create that shift and what I realized, especially from a spiritual perspective. But what came out of that was all these shifts where I'm like, you know what? My intent is not to be better than anyone, but my intent here is to, whatever I want it more for someone else than for myself. It's something I got off Wayne Dyer. And that's really where I started the collaboration calls. I started the collaboration calls basically as a way to take action on who and what I really am. And that was to provide an environment for people to allow them to thrive, where they are promoting their businesses instead of me promoting my own. Instead of me going through all about me, it was all about them, and it allowed me to stay in a space of service from all of these shifts that happened. So the next piece I want to discuss is why it's a trap. Well, of course, I mentioned before, it's a trap because in our childhood, where we evolve through competition, we evolve through comparing. It's like, can I do better here? Okay, these other people are doing this. Let me do that as well. Or if they're succeeding at a particular level, okay, what did you do to get this level of income or results or whatever? Let me see if I can do the same. And we go through this pattern of needing to compare, needing to see what other people are doing so that we can evolve ourselves. But that's no longer working for us. It's no longer working for us because it's a heavy amount of competition where we're now not living the quality of life we want to live. It doesn't even matter if you succeed. The trap is that it never stops. It never stops. It'll always consistently grow because there is a continuum. There's always people who are doing externally better and externally worse. There's always people on that spectrum. But we focus on the very people who are doing a lot better, who are so much further along the journey than us, and realizing, oh my God, why aren't I doing that? Now, even if we do achieve that outcome, even if we reach that outcome that person's reached, there's always going to be more. There's always going to be more. And therefore, you're always striving, you're always trying to achieve. And instead of doing it from a healthy way that's fulfilling and joyful and where you're serving, you're doing it from a place of trying to feel enough. You're doing it from a place of insecurity. And that's really where we need to start paying attention to it. And what lays this trap down and cemented in is the fact that what someone posts in terms of their results and outcomes is not the whole story. I've talked to a lot of people now. I get on the phone with a lot of people and, be open and honest and vulnerable about a lot of things. And what I realize is that what people post and what they show on social media is not the truth. It's not the whole truth. And so when you're comparing someone's life to your own, you're only comparing a very small fraction, and you're only comparing to the fraction that they want to share. So really, a whole comparison is not the whole truth. And therefore, we're comparing ourselves to something that's not really true, something that's always moving, and therefore it's always affecting us. So if you catch yourself in this pattern, realize that it's a pattern, realize that it's not serving anymore, it's no longer helping, and in fact, there's some other patterns that are more resourceful at your disposal. So let's go on to what this means spiritually and what this means in terms of personal development. And the first real thing I want to highlight is results and the meaning. Results and the meaning that you're attaching to the results. All this is really your belief that says, if I achieve this outcome, I'll be better off. I'll be better off with other outcomes, with other results. Therefore, I look at someone who's achieved that and say, oh my God, if I was to achieve that, I would be more happy, more fulfilled. I will live the way I want to live. But really, is that true? What if deep down, because of this experience, you were learning something deeper? What if through all this experience and all these lessons, you were learning the lessons necessary that were even more important than the results? What would be different then? If you were truly to look at the meaning you give results, what is it? Is it that you will be more healthy? Is it that you'll be able to experience what you want to experience? Is it that you'll be able to get more love, be seen? What is it? What meaning are you attaching to results? Because here's the deeper truth. You are not your outcome. You are not your results. You are not the outcome. You are not the thing you're achieving. Who and what you are is so much more than that. And when we forget that, we place a higher emphasis on this external outcome. But what you forget in those moments is who and what you really are. Who and what you are in terms of soul, in terms of spirit, in terms of the space, however you want to describe it, is so much more than the outcome. And it's in that realization you'll tap into some deeper truths. Moving on to the second perspective now, and that is that you are judging you. Trust me, everything outside of you is a mirror. And I'm sure you've realized this. But when you remember that if I look at this person and feel a certain way, I'm looking at that side of me. So imagine looking at someone and feeling that jealousy or feeling that shame or feeling that embarrassment, whatever you feel whenever you're comparing yourself and realizing, why aren't I there? And thinking, what side of me am I seeing? What side of me am I being reminded of when I'm looking at this person? What might come up is the side of you that says, oh my God, I should be doing better. It's the side of you that says, I should be doing better. I should be succeeding at that level. Now, notice this. This side is coming up because it's coming out. This side of you is coming up because it's wanting to be seen. Anyone who studied my content and watched this, watched the YouTube or listened to on the podcast knows that everything that's coming up is coming up because it's ready to be seen, ready to be felt, ready to be healed. The question is, when you look at that person and look at those external results, what's triggering in you and what's ready to be seen? If that's the mirror, what in you are you looking at? Are you looking at the side of you that knows you can be doing better, knows you can succeed at a higher level? The side of you that has judgments about it, right? The side of you that, has some fears about the next action steps. If you are looking at that, you are judging you. You are judging that side of you. Question is, what is that? Allow it to be there. Allow it to be seen. What you'll notice is a huge shift. The third perspective here is that you are judging life. You are looking at them feeling like I'm the victim of life. Why aren't I getting what I want? Why aren't I getting what I should have got? Where I should be by now, right? You're judging life. You're judging life saying life's not fair and I'm the victim. Life's against me. I'm the victim. I'm the person who is going on this journey and it's harder than it needs to be. It should be easier, right? You have these rules and these laws around what life should or shouldn't be. And therefore, when you see this person, it doesn't match that, right? It doesn't match that. But notice that pattern. Once again, notice this side of you that believes life should be a certain way. And what is it that you feel when you believe that story? When you believe the story that life should be a certain way and it's not, do you feel helpless? Do you feel hopeless? Do you feel sadness? Do you feel shame when you believe this story? This is what we're really looking at. When we're looking at someone and you're comparing results and feeling all of this, it's because of an unwritten rule, a law that you have, a judgment and attachment to an outcome or the way you think life should be. Once again, if you were just to allow this pattern to be there and allow this belief to be there and just start to notice it, just start to see it, what would be different if you realized, okay, life is life. Life is doing life right now. And the question is, am I resisting it? Am I resisting what is? And what would I to feel if I was to accept what is? If this person's achieving and they're doing their own thing and they're loving it, can I have just as much love for that as if they weren't? And the truth is, if you hold that space for them, you'll hold that space for you. And you can hold space for exactly what you're going through right now. Once again, you're learning the lessons. Once again, the lesson might be an even deeper truth and a deeper experience of life than the outcome itself. So can you accept life right now? Can you accept the circumstances and the events for what they are? And if you do, notice how you feel. What emotions come up for you? Is there a deeper level of peace when you just allow to what is? If you allow and surrender to what is it that you feel? What do you think you'll be able to contribute to your business because of that? The fourth perspective is the belief that I'm separate from success. When we look at success, what do we think? If that person's succeeding and they're succeeding at a level that I want, you can intuitively feel it's like something that's outside of me. Something that's outside of me that they have that I want. And it's like a toy. It's like they have this present or this toy or this thing that if I had that, I would be better off. I would feel more happy. I would feel more love. I would feel seen. I would feel successful. But we believe this story like we're separate from the success and we're separate from the things that we want to feel. I want to challenge you on that. What if it was all inside you? What if everything you wanted to experience, everything you thought success was going to give you is in you now? Even deeper than that, what if everything that you wanted, deeply wanted, you already have? You just need to rediscover it. Think about this. What is the income going to bring you? What is the outcome of external success or Instagram followers or a big Facebook group or the full program of clients? What is that really going to give you? What is it really going to give you in terms of your self-worth? In terms of the love you want to feel, in terms of the joy you want to experience, in terms of the freedom that you want to feel? What is it that you're deeply after? that goes beyond success. It's the unwritten rule of what you think success is going to bring you. And how can you remind yourself that you are not separate from that? In fact, that is you. You are here right now with everything inside you that you want to experience. We just have these unwritten rules that say they give us permission on what we want to feel and how we want to feel it in our experience of life. So realize that belief. Realize the belief that I am separate from success. I am separate from what I want to experience. I am separate from abundance. And breathe into your heart and feel the truth that everything you need, everything you want, everything you truly desire is in you now. And if it's in you now, what do you think you'll be able to manifest? What do you think you'll be able to do in terms of service to other people when you realize that actually everything I've wanted is here right now? How would your life be different? What decisions would you make? What sort of thing, what other beliefs would you welcome in? This is the perspective to have. This is the last one that I want to mention. And so breathe into it. Because once you welcome this into your life and embody it in your life, you're going to take some very, very different action steps. So in terms of what to do next, we have some action steps. Of course, step one is to recognize where we're judging. Recognize the comparison. Where is this comparison coming from? And have this in mind. Is it for you? Is it someone in your community? Is it someone you follow? Is it a podcast you listen to? Is it an icon or an author or whatever it may be? Whatever it may be. Think about having the attachment to this outcome, having the attachment to this person. And what does that do to you? What does that do to you? So highlight where this is for you, write it down, have it in mind so that we can move on to the next piece. And this next piece is, what are you making it mean? What are you making this mean about yourself? What are you making it mean about your business? What are you making it mean about what's possible? What are you making it mean about money? Whatever comes up, when you have this person in mind and you're looking at their success and you're feeling this way, what are you making it mean? What are you making it mean about you, your worthiness, your internal success, what's possible, what's not possible? Journal that out. Start to write that down, because if you can heighten your level of awareness around meaning, it's going to give you a very, very good indication on why you're feeling what you're feeling. Step 3 is what's coming up to be seen. All the emotions that are coming up because they're ready to be seen, they're ready to be healed, they're ready to be loved. And that's what we feel whenever we have resentment, judgments, right? We feel upset, we feel frustrated. Give yourself permission to feel it fully, recognizing it's a pattern that's coming up to be seen. It's coming up to be healed. It's coming up to be healed so that you can go on your heart's mission, your heart's calling, through the most compassionate, through the most resourceful, creative, playful ways, so that you can serve at the level that you want to serve. And step 4 is to ask yourself, what feels most in your expansion? Truly breathe into this. Ask yourself this question. If you're comparing someone, if you're comparing to their results, you're comparing to another outcome, and you're feeling all of this, resentment, judgment, attachments, whatever it may be, ask yourself in that moment, what feels in my highest? What is my heart guiding me towards? What is my heart leading to? By acting in this way, or by making this decision, I'll need to let go of some stories. I'll need to let go of my attachments. I'll need to welcome in a heightened level of love. What is in your expansion? What is in your highest? What feels exciting to you? Is it to reach out and collaborate with this person? Is it to send this person love? Is it to want what you want more for them than for yourself? What is it for you? For me, it was to create the serving circle and create the collaborative calls, right? To create the collaborative calls and the experience of me just serving and everyone else promoting themselves and everyone else being in a space of love and connection and compassion for each other, and me sit back and just provide that environment. What is it for you? What is it for you? What goes beyond the pattern of comparison for you? And what's one decision? Just one decision or action that you can take or make that's going to allow you to break this pattern. So write that down. If it takes some scheduling, schedule it in, and definitely take action on that. If you implement this in your life, what you're going to find is that you're going to not only break the pattern, but you're going to enhance a new one. Enhance a pattern around love, around compassion, around evolution, and something that taps into these deeper truths that we've mentioned here. But now it's time for you to share your truth. Which of the spiritual perspectives resonates with you, and are you willing to take these action steps? Are you willing to take these action steps and heal this pattern of competition? Start to really engage in a energy of collaboration, in an energy of healing, energy of love. If that's you, let me know below. I look forward to reading your comments and engaging there. And I'll see you guys in the serving circle. Take care.